Welcome to the next section of the playlist. If you've been following along in the Thinking Like a Programmer series, this video is for you. If you haven't been, maybe go check out the playlist. Yeah. So next up in this playlist, we are going to be looking at breakdown videos. This is something we haven't really done, I don't think, much of, if at all, in TypeScript. And so what a breakdown video is we're just going to look at the completed script and we're going to see how it works. I'm going to explain to you every line. There might be code in there you've never seen before. There might be features in there you've not seen before. And the idea is that you'll be able to extrapolate from what you see to go and make your own and like reinvent it. I think there's going to be a lot of people who want these as assets. In many cases, I just don't feel comfortable releasing them as assets. Either we bought the models and we don't have the rights to give them away, or we downloaded the models for free, we still don't have the rights to give them away, or the scripts are just not finished is a big one. Like I like to just show you a core mechanic and then it doesn't have like all the flair, sound effects, visual effects, all that stuff is left to the end, so it's just not finished and polished. For reference, when I did release 40 assets to the public asset library, I spent over 2 weeks working well over 40 hours to get those assets to the point where I felt comfortable releasing them to the public. Like it's just not something I have time for. So I hope that you'll take this not as something like a freebie, but more as a way to learn, to build your own things, to take what you see here and make it your own, and continue building upon it. That's really the goal of all the videos. I did enjoy giving out assets a long time ago, but unfortunately with the state of Horizon, you kind of have to buy models and bring them in. So like, I don't know how to 3D model, at least not yet. At least not yet. So anyway, continuing through my notes, let's see. You are ready for this. If you've been following along, I know this might seem a little intimidating not to see it step by step, but if you've been following along, you should have done the Introduction to TypeScript video. You should have done at least a few, I'd say like 3 to 5 of the regular intermediate TypeScript videos. So assuming you've done all of those, then you should be ready to just like look at a script and be able to understand it. And if you don't feel comfortable understanding it, I really just want you to pause the video and like walk through it in your mind a few times. Maybe try writing out the code a little bit. This is, I said this at one point in this series, but education is hard. Like you need to struggle a little bit to actually solidify the knowledge. Just doing what you see me do is not going to help you learn. You really need to like go off on your own and like invent and be creative. Try to like ask yourself, how would I do X, Y, or Z, and then solve it. So this is as much my job as it is yours, right? Like we both are working at this together. I'm creating the content, but you have to actually like really learn the content. It's hard. And if there's anything I can do to help, leave a comment and let me know, which is where if you see something in the video that we need to extrapolate on that just maybe I went over too fast, that's a possibility. Leave a comment and let me know that that's something you're interested in. We might already have a video on it in this playlist because I've been doing that for some of the topics that people have been wanting more details on, so I'd be happy to continue doing that. And don't forget to like ask on Discord. You can use the YouTube comments, but I prefer Discord as I see every Discord. I don't necessarily see every YouTube comment. The one thing that you're going to be missing in this is all the mistakes I make. So it's going to look like I'm this perfect person. I'm really not. Yesterday I was recording a tutorial. I hadn't eaten anything all day, and I spent half an hour missing a very, very simple thing that would have been easily diagnosed if I'd put in a simple console.log hello. Literally just that would have shown me where the bug was. But because I just kept going down rabbit holes, I messed that up. So I've lost that tutorial, unfortunately. That one's not going to make it. I might try to remake it. We'll see. Let's see what's up next. Oh, how do I get to the solution is something else you'll be missing with these breakdown videos. And so what I do is I try to think about what the final product is, and then I try to find the smallest element that I need to start with, and then I keep building upon that. And my brain is constantly solving problems by using features I know about and then putting them in place like a puzzle. I don't know how my brain does that. Like, it just does. So that part's kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's once you learn a tool, your brain can kind of know how to use the tool. It's like if you have a hammer and you have a nail, you understand that that can tack something to the wall. So there's lots of little tools like for each and arrays and like async. All of those things are the tools in my brain that kind of work to solve the problem. So my kind of recommendation at this point is I'm still kind of figuring out how do we teach this mind. Like it's my mind, but how do I help you have that mind? is to just continue doing repetition, kind of like building upon that and continuing to put the work in. One thing that I mention hopefully frequently enough that it's well understood is that when I get started on something like TypeScript specifically, I was spending somewhere between 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week for it was mostly 2 months straight, and then after the 2 months I went a lot easier as like 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. Like then I went easier, and that's the point. The point is, like, I spent 4 months learning my first, like, that's how I learned TypeScript, was 4 months of just really hardcore immersing myself, living and breathing, not even seeing my family, which really sucked, but it also is how I got here. Like, I had to really put the work in. Now fortunately I'm really lucky that after I'm done putting the work in, I can spend time with my family, so I really appreciate that. But for the months where I'm not, like right now I'm in a grind, it's really tough. Like, I gave my daughter the biggest hug this morning when she went off, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss you, I gotta go to work. So it's tough, but the work has to be put in to get there. Otherwise, I imagine it takes over a year or two, because you're not like living and breathing it. So you're like just slowly accumulating the language. This is, to me, it's the equivalent of like when you go overseas and you're learning a language in that country, you learn it like this because you're immersed in the entire culture and everything. But when you're back home, wherever you are, wherever your language is, you can't learn it as well because you're not putting the time in. So yeah, I really like experienced this very firsthand when I was in France recently, and I started learning French via Duolingo, and it was like, not only was the app really good at teaching, which I'm not sponsored, but like really I was quite surprised. And then, but I was reading it everywhere I was going. Like the first couple days I didn't understand anything that I read on the walls, but then by day 5 I was like, holy smokes, I understand like what that sign says, what this says, and I was like figuring it out, and like I could understand what people were saying when they were talking. Like, I got there in a week, okay? But that's because I was immersing myself in it. And that's exactly what I think programming kind of requires, this kind of full immersion. Okay, sorry, I'm rambling here a little bit, but I think it's important, so I hope you are okay. Let's see what else I said. Build mechanic off to the side. This one's important too. So when I'm building a mechanic for a major game loop, so we're building a game loop right now for our world, and we decided that we needed this spinning thing that slowed down. And so to build that spinning thing that slows down, we built it on like a test object just to get it working. And once we had that working, we could then bring the code back into our major script, because there was a lot of breaking it. And so we didn't want to use like triggers and all, like, well, we could have used a trigger, but we used when player enter world just to make it like super quick. So we'd like enter the world to preview, it would start spinning, it would slow down. We're like, perfect, but now how do we get to do this next thing? And we iterated on that for 2 hours to get a simple spinning mechanic working, okay? Seriously, 2 hours of iterating just to get it the right, so it felt like the physics were right and the slowdown was right, and it did what we wanted it to do. Then we could bring it into the script we'd been working on for days after that point. So building mechanics off to the side is a really important, it's really important to me, I think, in making sure that I'm not accidentally causing some other inadvertent bug. Saving flair to the end. So flair is like visual effects, sound effects, all the stuff that's fun to add, that's really easy to add. It's very easy to get caught up in that in the beginning because it's fun, it's simple, you know how to do it. But you really want to save those things till you're done. Your core mechanic is finished. So saving flair to the end is my best advice. So if you see something that I've built that is more complete, it's not just the core mechanic, and it does have visual effects and sound effects, I want you to remember that I didn't add that until the end. It's possible I might have added 1 or 2 in the beginning so it would be more fun, but the final finished product really comes once you've got the core mechanic done. Okay. These videos are meant to show you how we accomplish the task to inspire you. Sorry, just reading my notes right there. But like, I want this to inspire your creativity and make you think, oh, I had no idea I could do that. That would do something in this script I'm working on right now. That's hopefully what you get out of these breakdown videos. I think I mentioned that assets are unlikely just because of the polished. I'm pretty sure I said that already. And the last thing, this is very important, is the goal of this series is not to show you absolutely everything Horizon has to offer. I wish I had that sort of power, but it's not a reasonable ask. There are countless things I will not be able to teach you. This program for me ends at the end of September, middle September really, and when it comes to an end, we're going to go back to regular programming, which will be different. We'll see. I don't even know what it's going to look like because it's been a while since I've done regular programming. But this series is just to get you to think like a programmer. It's me working with the interns, helping develop them. These videos are for them and for you, because I would never do something just for a small subset of people. You know me, I like to help everyone as best I can. So all the things is a document, and I really want to give a huge thank you to Osprey, who's been putting the links in. He's been adding more APIs for me. We're trying to keep this document updated. I really need to reach out to my colleague Shards and see if he has any interest in helping fill the document out some further. He was just on vacation, so he's finally getting back, I think. I need to reach out to him. But it's a document I want to be owned by the community. Like I obviously can't maintain it forever, but if we work together, we can continue adding notes. I've left open commenting, so you can leave comments on it. If there's anything you want to add, you can do that. But that document lists pretty much all of the APIs and features Horizon has to offer, and I recommend checking it out because that's a great place to start and figuring out where to learn. Something that I kind of realized as I was thinking about this is one of the things that makes me different from somebody who's just getting started in Horizon is that I know where to go to learn. And that's what I made the document for. So it's a cheat sheet, guys. I hope you'll use it. I see there are people using it every day, and I really am glad to see that it's getting use. So that's awesome. But like, if you don't know what it is, there's a link to the document in the description. Check it out, skim through it. It's basically descriptions, some code snippets in some cases, links to videos or documents, learn websites. And yeah, so without further ado, we're entering the final section of this playlist. For those watching this in chronological order, I will still be releasing regular tutorials. They'll be put into the middle of the playlist, back where the regular tutorial videos go. So there will be both. There'll be a mix of both. But I am going to start using the fact that we have this breakdown section to my advantage, because I just don't have all the time in the world. And recording it as a tutorial can be more exhausting than doing it like without having to speak the entire time. So in some cases I might just be like, I need to go do this thing, and then afterwards I'll be like, this would make a great breakdown, let's go do it. So without further ado, I will let you get back to the playlist, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.